Hi, I would like to talk about analogies, how analogies drive innovation, and how we can make use of analogies to generate movement. By definition, analogy is a comparison in which an ideal thing is compared to another that is quite different from it. As you all know, that analogies are used as a vehicle for relationship, and they have the life of their own. Most of the artists made use of analogies, right from George Orwell to Shakespeare to Sylvia Plath. Apart from being used as a linguistic device and a tool for reasoning, analogies has a far-reaching significance in the domains of business and technology. Let's talk about analogies from a different standpoint on how analogies can be made use to escape the natural obvious patterns and to generate some movement. So I would like to put forth four prominent innovators who made use of analogies. Let's talk about Wright brothers firstly. As we all know that Wright brothers for into the manufacturing and repairing of bike, they observed an analogy that most of the would-be aviators model their flight based on the concept of flapping, but flapping got nothing to do with flight. So they observed that both the bike and the plane need balance and control in three dimensions, and both fell off if they lost their forward momentum. Based on analogy, they constructed a model of plane. The second example is that of Charles Darwin, and how he made use of analogies to come up with his theory of evolution. So let's talk about Charles Darwin. He drew two analogies. In first, he drew a parallel between zoology and biology, observing that how small change in animal can trigger relative survival and reproduction rates. The other is he drew an analogy between breeding in agriculture and natural selection in the wild. The rest is history, as we know the theory of evolution. The second is that the third is that of Steve Jobs, how Steve Jobs made use of analogies to come up with the Macintosh. Uh, the digital desktop brought developed by Xerox POC went unappreciated. There came Steve Jobs. He observed an analogy and the potential to make computers accessible to millions of people. So, which this analogy he put into use while he was uh, launching the first Mac. The other cases are of Intel and how Intel made use of analogies. During early 90s, Intel didn't partake in manufacturing of cheap microprocessors. During their training in 94 by a Harvard professor, they were subjected to a case study in which they got to know how if they lose on the low end now can make them lose at the high end in the coming years. So using this analogy, the then CEO of Intel made use of this analogy to come up with Celeron processor, and the rest is history. These are the most prominent four prominent innovators who made use of analogies. Thanks.